Tonight's talk theme today, Prague Chess Festival. It's upon us, and to my surprise, I thought like Prague. If you listen or if you hear Prague, then this is going to be some super traditional chess festival. It's been there for hundreds of years, but apparently not. It's there since 2019. Am I correct, Johannes?
I think you are correct. 7 years, but I think 7 years is a nice jubilee, and the tournament is growing, and I think it's one of the strongest tournaments this year on the chess calendar, isn't it?
It is.
And
It
it's
is.
and it's the Masters, the Challengers, and the Futures. And moreover, there are just interesting side tournaments, Rapid and Chess 960, and I think there's even a Backhouse tournament. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Of course, yeah, 2019 it started. You said that correctly, and that was a big surprise to me. And then COVID hit.
COVID hit,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how unfortunate is that? They're trying to do something new, and then out of a sudden it gets like gets
Yeah,
difficult. And
yeah,
interestingly, is that it was formed by the chess club Novi Bor,
yeah.
and there's a lot of players who are playing for Novi Bor. For example, Vincent Keimer is there since quite some time. David
David Navarro.
Navara, Taidai Van Nguyen, and yeah, some other super strong players. And Novi Bor is one of the best teams in the world, considered one of the best teams in the world, right?
At least one of the best teams in Europe, and
Mhm.
they in 2024 they won the European Club Cup.
So something about that. Luckily, we have you here. You not only wrote a beautiful article about Prague, which I read, and it will be linked in the article to this show, of course, which I really
Ab-
recommend to read because it
About
shows a lot
side,
about Prague history and general stuff. Steinitz, for example.
yeah, sightseeing, chess and sightseeing in Prague. Yeah,
Yeah, well, because Prague is quite beautiful after all. But Johannes, you've been there live as well.
yeah. The last 2 years, I had the pleasure and the privilege to be invited by the Prague Chess Festival, and I enjoyed the time there.
And
Yeah, because I mean, I have to admit that I've never been to Wijk aan Zee, but what I've heard, it's rainy, it's cold and windy, and Prague is a beautiful city, and there are lots of things you can do, or if you want to put it that way, lots of distractions that tempt you away from chess.
absolutely, yeah. I've never been there. It's so sad. I need to go there. Probably next year. This year it's too close to get there. Shall we talk about the lineup of this beautiful event?
Of the upcoming chess masters and the chess festival, that the opening ceremony was yesterday on Tuesday, and the first round is today. Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the lineup.
Exactly. So shall we start with the Masters? Yeah.
Yeah. Top seed is Wei Yi from China.
Yeah. He's been very strong in the last couple of months, and I've seen him in so many uh, playing in a lot of tournaments. He is considered one of the strongest Chinese players, and some say stronger than Ding Liren at the moment. So
Yeah, I mean, Wei Yi was a huge talent, and then he somehow stagnated.
yeah.
And as far as I heard, he finished his studies and now starts to play chess seriously again. And the results are visible.
Who knows what to expect from this guy? Yeah, he played in the Bundesliga. He drew against Magnus Carlsen very recently as well. For example, it's just so hard to beat him. I think he's drawing a lot of games, and he just cannot crush him. It's very very difficult because he's so precise.
Yeah, and in Vike, he played in Vike, but he made, I mean, for my taste, he made a number, too many draws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, 2024, he won the tournament, and now 2025, it's just one draw after the next. So I hope in Prague he's a bit more aggressive.
Talking about Prague, Prague is another player who is playing in Prague, Pragnananda, of course. Another player who was also playing in Vaikanzi. Not only playing there, he just simply won it against Gukesh in the tiebreaker, which was dramatic. And he seems to be in a good shape as well. So let's see how he will do. And another player is Le Quang Liem from Vietnam. And Vietnam is a theme which we will listen to a second time later. Liquam Liang is always around 2,700 since so many years. I think he hardly ever slipped below 2,700, and he's a great player. He won the Biel Chess Festival 3 times in a row, is about to try to win it a 4th time in a row. So, very good player, obviously.
Obviously. He lives in the US currently, isn't
Yeah.
it? Studied at the university and now he's living there as a coach or chess professional. I'm not sure.
Then we have Vincent Keimer.
Vincent Keimer, the winner of the freestyle chess tournament in Weissenhaus.
Yeah. So is that continuing his streak of winning a tournament? Who knows?
Well,
Yes,
maybe
please.
this is German chess fans will have noticed this. Last weekend there was the Bundesliga weekend in Germany, and Keimer, the Germany's number 1, played against Germany's number 2, Frederick Swane, and he suffered a bitter defeat.
Yeah. The number 2 of Germany against the number 1 of Germany. So
yeah, Keimer lost the game, and well, so we will see. We will see whether he continues to show the form he had shown in Weissenhaus, or whether this loss against Swane it affects him. Well, but I think he will recover, and well, I hope
so
he will
too.
play well.
I hope so too, obviously, yes. As I said, he's a part of Novibor anyway. And then we have Aravind Chittambaram. And I think most of the players, because he is a little shooting star from India as well, once again, with 2,729. And most of the people now consider just calling him Aravind. Yeah, so...
Yeah.
And he plays a lot of tournaments, and he plays them absolutely well. And last year he jumped up from 2,600 to 2,700 and beyond. So he is a force to reckon with.
But isn't this one of his first absolutely top and major tournaments?
Perhaps, but there will be more this year because he has, he worked for it last year, and this time he will show up in some more of the big tournaments. So good for him. Mm-hmm. And then surprisingly, in my opinion, Anish Giri, because now we're naming him because he's set on number 6. So this is a strong tournament.
The 6th feed, yeah.
And he's potentially, he can win the tournament easily, right? I mean, if you just name the people without their ratings, then you would go like, well, Anish might be a favorite.
Always among the favorites, yeah, sure.
And then, of course, a person who everybody loves, obviously, because he's just one of the sweetest chess people in the world. It's David Navara. So he has been playing in almost every year, I think, right? Do you know?
But I mean, this is because he plays for Novibor. He's the Czech number 1.
Yeah. And
he's living in Prague. I think, when was this? What did I read it recently about Navara? With an ERO rating of 2,731. This is the best rating ever achieved by a Czech player.
Actually unbelievable, because Czechia or the Czech Republic has a lot of strong players when you think about it, or had in the past as well.
Yeah, sure, but then maybe they had a strong players when the ratings were not around, so maybe arguably people like Vlastimil Hort or Luboš Kavalek or
exactly those.
They were at their peak. They might have had an ERO rating of 2,750, but when they had their peak, the ratings were not so popular.
Then we have Sam Shankland. He's returning after he wrote a very nice book, and he played in a couple of tournaments. 2,670. So he slipped down from 2,700, just like David Navara.
But Shankland knows how to win this tournament. I think he won in, when was it, 2021?
Yes, exactly, 2021. It's actually, as a matter of fact, there's 2 US players who won the Prague Festival. Ray Robson was another one, 2023. And that means the US are dominating the Prague Chess Festival at the moment.
Well, maybe the same could be said for the Indians.
Yeah, but it's only Pentala Harikrishna who won in 2022. So.
Oh yeah, last year it was up to Satov.
Yes. So India has to do something. but there is two players who are very strong
Time,
there. So
time to
yeah,
catch up.
exactly.
Indian chess has to catch up.
And then we have someone who is Tai Dai Van Nguyen, and typical name for a Czech player. Of course, his father is from Vietnam, and this is why I mentioned Vietnam after all.
Ah,
And he just won the Challengers in Wijk aan Zee. And he is just 9 points short in the rating to David Navarra. Will there be a shift in the Czech Republic of the best player of, let's say, Czechia?
who knows? And last year, I think he was the 10th seed,
Yeah,
and he finished second. I
second,
mean,
exactly. Yeah.
he shared second to fourth place, and on tiebreak he was second. So
Yeah.
maybe he will do one better this year. So.
Yeah, if that's the case, yeah. If he says like in an interview, I just want to be one place better than last year, then we all know what he's striving for.
Yeah.
And then we have a super shooting star who many consider he will get the 2700 soon enough. It's Edis Gurel. And what a cute guy he is. I mean, he's like a super tough player. He played very well in one tournament last year, but I forgot what. Also in Budapest, he played quite well too. But there was one tournament he played significantly well. And he's the lowest rated, but he won the Challengers last year. So he's part of the Masters this year.
I had the pleasure to play against him last year.
You did?
Yeah, at the at the end of the tournament, there was a little event, and there was a hand and brain tournament, and I had the fortune to play together with Vidit. And
nice.
in one game, we played against Edis Gurel and Jeroen van den Berg, the organizer of the Wijk aan Zee tournament. And I was so amazed because I've always thought we had a good position, but then Edis made a move, and I thought, oh my God, the position is not as good as I thought, And he came up with one good move after the next. And it was just, I thought, oh my God, this guy is talented. I mean, it's, of course, I knew and I know that he's talented. You just look at his games and his ratings. But the experience of playing these people directly, and you have your thought and your feelings, and you think, oh my God, my position is better. And then they make a move and you think, oh, I didn't expect that. It doesn't look so strong. But then you think about the position and suddenly you think, oh my God, what do I do now? So that was my experience of playing against Edis Gurel. And so I think he will do fairly well.
Perhaps, yeah. So the rating, how do you call it? The overall rating, Schnitt.
The average.
Thank you.
Rating average.
Thank you for the word which I was missing. It's 2,706, so it is a strong Masters after all.
Pretty good. And no player below 2,600, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
And five with 2,700
it's
above.
Even six, yeah.
Even 6-0.
Yeah, with Anish who jumped in at the last moment.
Okay.
Let's take a quick look at the challengers. Of course, we don't have to go. Yeah, please.
Let me ask you this question. Do you have a favorite, do you think?
Yeah, of course. I hope it's Vincent, obviously, because I know him quite well now, since I think it started when we played basketball together, which was like, he's a very talented sports guy as well, and he's very fair and all of that. So it's just like, he's a good guy. So,
and he's pretty tall, isn't it?
Yeah, he's taller than me, which is already telling something. I think he's like 1.94 m or something, or even more, right? He's still growing. No, I'm not sure. He's 20 now, right? Yeah, or something. Is he 20 or 21? Yeah, 20.
20, yeah.
Yeah, but he's a tall fellow indeed, and athletic too. Now, so I hope Vincent will make it, but I hope Vincent will make it. I'll just keep it at that. What about you?
I also hope Vincent will make it, but last year he had a bad tournament, and well, I mean, of course, he, as he has shown in Weissenhaus, he can win any tournament, even against the best, and so he can also win Prague. But just realistically, I think that the best chances, I would side with Prague.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's probably the favorite, especially after Wijk now.
He played brilliantly at Wijk, and but Vailly also, but maybe he's too drawish. Well, basically, I think there are lots of people who, if they have a lucky streak, they can win. So this makes the tournament very, very exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking forward to it too now.
And there's the challengers, which you wanted to
Yeah, let's
talk more about.
talk about a couple of names, because there's a couple of names, of course, we don't really have heard that often, especially from the Czechia, because yeah, it's a local tournament. So of course there's 3 players from Czechia, and they also have the 8th, 9th, and 10th spot. It's Joachim Nemec, Richard Stalmach, and Václav Finek. So I know that Václav Finek,
Václav, I would say.
he had 2,420 last year, something like that. And now he's climbing towards 2,500. So that's a strong player for sure.
Oh, he's young and he's gifted.
Yeah.
Very strong, very strong. So, well, a lot can happen.
A lot can happen. Then we have very nice Divya Deshmukh is there, representing the only Indian player in the challengers group. She's still with 2,490, so she will try to get back to 2,500. That might be her main goal. So a couple of draws against some very good players, that should be possible. And then we have a name I've never heard, and he has almost 2,600. It's Stamatis Kokoulos Arditis from Greece. This is the first time I've ever heard this name. I'm sorry. Can you tell anything about this man?
Well, he's from Greece.
There we go. All right.
And he won the Open tournament last year, and he won it convincingly. And he played some fine games, and I was quite impressed by his play. And because the winner of the Open tournament in Prague qualifies for the Challengers, and the winner of the Challengers qualifies for the Masters.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I mean, if he's 2,600 almost, then he's probably not bad. And then of course we have yeah, please.
Yeah, and I think he's an open player, but I'm not so sure about this. But I would suppose that he's an open player, and to have 2,600 if you play regularly in open tournaments, this indicates that you're strong.
Then we have Marc-Andrea Maurizi, and of course he made some headlines in Gerba with the like he won. He got a performance of 2,900 plus.
Almost. I think it was 2,898.
Yeah.
Winning the Java Festival, the Masters, with 7.5 out of 9.
9, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, crazy. Let's see if he can take some of this mood with him. Then we have Ivan Salgado Lopez, another player I think I've heard about once or twice. Sorry.
Yeah.
Also unknown to me. And he is 1 point away from 2,600. So,
yeah.
That
a regularly strong player, but I don't know much about him, I have to confess.
Then we have a player from St. Pauli Bundesliga club, Jonas Bull-Bjerre, and he's another player who I also played basketball with, and he's very good in basketball, and he's also tall.
Well, I mean, who was the strongest player the strongest chess player you've ever played basketball with?
Leon Mendonça. No doubt at all. Yeah, and you don't believe it because he's like smaller than all of us. But he is fast and he is technically so brilliant. So that's for another day. But he's really, really good.
Okay.
And then we have Kun Ma from China.
Yeah.
He must be young, I assume. I haven't heard of him that much either.
Strong Chinese player, yes.
And he's on the number 2, 2,645. And Nodirbek Yakuboyev. So
from Uzbekistan,
yeah, one of the strong players who won the Olympic medal last year. No, 2 years ago. 3 years ago. Sorry, yeah, 3 years ago. Yeah, so still.
Yeah, in 2022.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite here?
I don't really know, actually. I think if I had to pick a favorite, I would pick Maurizi.
Yeah.
But again, lots of things can happen. But I would just pick Maurizi because his performance in Java was really strong, and he won the World Junior Championship in 2023, and he is the youngest ever grandmaster from France, and so he has an enormous potential. But somehow during the last 1 or 2 years, he didn't show this potential, and Gerber might be a break, and maybe he will just continue his run and perform well in the Masters, in the Challengers.
I'm voting for Jonas Buhlbjerre, so I'm hoping that both my basketball companions will make it happen. So
Yeah,
you
this
go,
would
guys.
be good, you know.
Absolutely. So is there anything else we want to talk about this tournament? Is there something on your mind which you can share?
Well, it's an absolutely attractive tournament. I mean, it's the city is great. The tournament is well organized. There are lots of side events, and
Yes.
the atmosphere is just very nice. It's chess all, 2 weeks of chess.
There's a geopolitical chess, a literally and immortal chess. It's a lecture and an exhibition and an auction too. So
Yeah.
they're making quite something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning there's a senior tournament too in Prague.
Not in the chess festival.
Yes.
Currently, the World Team Senior Championships take place in Prague. So basically, it's just, I think the last round is played today, and so it's just, basically the the European Team Championship finish, and then you can continue to the chess festival. Oh, it's not the
Excellent.
European; it's the World Team Championship.
Gotcha.
It's 50 plus and 65 plus.
And you will be visiting Prague once again, so I'm
Yes.
very curious about how you, with whom you were talking and how you experienced the whole event after all. But this is for the next show, probably. Let's see.
Yes.
And for closing the show, we want to show you one beautiful tactic from last year, and then we have a
Yes.
little quiz for you. So this was a game between nobody else than the world chess champion Gukesh against Maghsoodloo. And Gukesh was white, and he missed the beautiful tactic. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, and I remember this position quite well, and I think this is just one of these things. If you know that white has a strong move and has a tactical possibility, and if you are used to solving tactical combinations regularly, you probably, or you perhaps, depending on your strengths, you will find or you see the motive. But I happen to follow this game live, and last year Saga Shah and Amruta, his wife Amruta Mokal, were doing live commentary, and this position was on the board, and it was Gukesh's move, and the engine showed that white is winning. And Saga and Amruta asked, so what's the winning move? What's the winning move? And there were lots of people in the audience, and strong players, and they were just, thinking this and proposing that and proposing this move and so on and so on. But no one found the winning move. No one found the winning move.
Crazy.
And Gukesh didn't see it either. So maybe one of our viewers, while we talk about this, has an idea. So white is winning. How? I mean, we were thinking about all kinds of moves, like bishop g4, e4, bishop h5, and so on and so on and so on, But
as you often say in chess, it is all about the common rules of how to solve tactics. You start with checks, and then you go on with which pieces can you capture.
Forced moves, checks and captures and threats. Yeah, that's what you think. And so, in this position, white has only one sensible check, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rook a8 check. So,
which is happening. By the way, you can take a look at the whole game, of course, if you want to replay it. It's worth it. It's fun. In the article as well. The link is, of course, in the show notes. So it's a rook check on a8, and there's only one reasonable move to make for black, which is going to h7 with the king. And here's where the fun begins, because now we can see the pattern of the tactic evolving. The king is on the same diagonal as the queen.
Yeah.
How can we use that?
Yeah, but this is again, I mean, I find this is so typical for chess, that after the fact, after the game, you always come up with the explanation, and you see, oh, there's a tactical motive, king and queen on the same diagonal, king, queen, and rook. And so, and then you're somehow supposed to see this beforehand, but usually it's a blind spot. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
only afterwards you say, oh yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So we give the quick solution. We give a check on h8 with
sacrificing
the rook. The king should really take, otherwise, yeah, it gets into a lot of trouble because there's, I think it's checkmate very soon.
Yeah.
So the king takes back, and then the queen goes to a8 with another check. Again, the king moves to h7, and then
no other choice.
We give a check on e4 with the bishop, and this is a queen we will, yeah, take and win the game with easily.
Forking the queen.
Absolutely beautiful.
Is it forking? No, it's not forking. Skewering, isn't it? I don't know.
Something like that. But that's the tactic.
Yeah, it's, you know, the main thing is to spot it. But, well, live, no one in the audience spotted it.
Now we give you one last riddle, and then we leave it be. What does that mean? Adena haunting ivy. Well, obviously this is an anagram, and it is an anagram for one of the players of this tournament. And if you want to guess it on your own, because it is difficult, especially it is difficult because this anagram is forming words, and out of a sudden it gets quite difficult. But so I would recommend to pause the video for a second and then guess on your own, because we will solve it right now. Yeah, please.
This is, again, I find this, you know, also the tricks your brain plays on you. I mean, you know that the words, it's just about the letters, but your brain constructs sense and tries to find out sense in the words, and you see the word haunting, and you see the word or the combination of letters Adena, and you think, oh, Adena, this might be a name.
It might be a female, actually.
It might be a female, you know, Adena haunting ivy, and, you know, and so your brain has difficulties to proceed the real important information, the letters.
Yeah.
But maybe our viewers are quicker than I am, so...
Well, yeah, but I think I wouldn't have guessed it, but yeah, you have to keep this name in your head because it is Tai Dai Van Nguyen.
And it helps to know that this is one of the participants in the
Prague
Chess Festival.
Yeah.
So
that was it. So this was like a little bit of an insight about Prague, about the festival, how it started, and about the whole lineup and who we think will win. Who do you think will win? I'm curious too, of course. And Johannes, I wish you all the best in Prague and have a lot of fun there, I guess.
I hope I will, and I hope I will see some good chess.
Yeah, let's keep the fingers crossed.
I don't know. I mean, when I checked the program again, I thought I might try my hand at chess 960, but at freestyle chess, no matter. But maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm not decided yet.
Yeah, you have to try it out. Let's take a look at how this will go up for you. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thanks for watching.
We see each other soon again.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.